Hey guys, it's Emma here and I have my recent reads favourite read video for May. So without further ado, I've got my Goodreads app here, so let's just get into it. So the first thing I read in May was one of the comics that my partner got me for my birthday, so that was Fine Print Volume 1. And then I've started a new book series on my Kindle with the Kindle Unlimited subscription that I read half of last month and I will read the rest of this month. I've got 2 books to go, I think. And that is the book series is called Crawlers. Crawlers with a Z. And it's a zombie apocalypse story. But the first one that I read is Red Sky in the Morning. That's book 1. And then I read another comic that my partner had got me for my birthday, and that was Death Vigil, Volume 1. And then I was back into this new zombie series, so Crawlers Book 2, Batten Down the Hatches. And then Book 3, The Mountains Are Calling. And then because there is 7, I read 4 Kindle Unlimited books this month instead of 3, so Book 4 is From the Ashes. Then I read one of my partner's manga that he has, and that was to finish off a series, so that was Stitch and the Samurai Volume 3. And then I read a book from I think it was my sci-fi fantasy box of stories, because I'm still trying to catch up with them. I have like a whole box that I haven't read yet, at least maybe 2 boxes, so I'm slowly catching up, but yeah, that was The Silence. And then another one from that box was The Ingenious. And then a comic that my partner has got, so he's upgraded to the hardcover, so it was Something's Killing the Children, book 1. So I had read the first trade, I think, before, but this is maybe the first 2 or 3 trades together, so there was more story to read. So I read that. And then I think was one of the last books in the sci-fi fantasy box stories box was The Free. I think I've got one more to read. And that was it. That was everything I read in May. So looking at that, I think I haven't read as much as I normally read some months, but that was because there was more books, like novels, instead of trade paperback, like graphic novels and comics and things like that. I didn't read as many this month. So yeah, it was more books, so slightly less than I normally read. But just like looking at it, I would definitely pick as my favourite read for the month, The Silence by Tim Laban. So it was just an amazing book. It's just so good. And this guy, he's written at least one book, I think, in the Alien franchise, like universe of books. And you know I love a good Alien book. So I was excited when I saw his name. But yeah, it's basically, it's another like apocalypse story, but it's not zombies this time. Again, it's along the same vein slightly as things like Bird Box, and I'm not sure which book came first actually, The Silence or Bird Box, so I don't know. I will maybe look that up and pop it down here, but it's the same kind of vein. So basically there's people are like mining somewhere. I think it's around Chile maybe, or somewhere there. I may be completely wrong, but they're mining somewhere. They're filming it for like National Geographic. There's this cave system that they've discovered that has been closed and sealed off for like thousands and thousands of years. So they open it up and shock, something comes out of it. So there are these creatures that have been in there for thousands of years, somehow surviving, and they're blind, they can't see, but they're kind of like bats, but like kind of yellow, leathery kind of things. And they will kill you if you make a noise. So they can just hear, they can't see you, so you have to be quiet. So kind of like the Bird Box, you can't look at them. This is, you have to be quiet, you can't make a noise. I think there have been a couple of other things like this as well. I mean, there's A Quiet Place as well. Again, I'm not sure how old this book is as opposed to the movie Quiet Place, but yeah, you can't make noise. So it's more like that actually than Bird Box. But this kind of, horror, dystopian kind of thing. So it basically follows one family as they are kind of trying to survive through this thing. Now it's set in the UK, in England, and they're actually trying to get to Scotland to get somewhere more remote where there's less noise, because obviously if you're in a city there's going to be lots of noise and more people that's going to attract these things. Okay, so you need to get somewhere isolated. So that's basically what the book follows, this family trying to get there. And the main thing about this book, and again, the same in A Quiet Place, is that the daughter in the family is deaf. So it means they all know sign language, so they don't have to speak to each other, they can sign, and that means they can keep quiet. Whereas a lot of other people obviously don't know sign language, so cannot communicate, or if they do, well, they'll get killed by these flappy, crazy monster things. So the book, as I said, is set in the UK, but they've done a movie adaptation, and shock, it's set in America, because everything has to be set in America. Slightly annoying, but yeah, if you haven't seen the movie, I would definitely say read the book either before seeing the movie, or just don't watch the movie, because I read this book, and the version I have that I got in my Box of Stories box is, it has the, you know, the cover of like the movie on the front of the book, with that annoying sticker that isn't really a sticker, so I can't take it off, saying like now a movie on Netflix or something. And it stars like Stanley Tucci, who I love. So I was like, oh great, I've had this on my list for a while to watch on Netflix, so I will read the book first and then I will watch the movie. And I'm glad I did, but just don't watch the movie. Just don't bother, just read the book, because the book is so good. It's amazing. I was just hooked the whole way through. It was just fantastic. I loved it. But the movie, it was just, I don't know, it was just, there wasn't major changes much, apart from being set in America instead of Britain, but there were like things that were different, and I was just like, oh, that's not how they did it in the book, and they haven't done it quite as well. And yeah, either read the book first, then watch the movie, or just don't watch the movie. But definitely don't watch the movie and then read the book, because obviously you're going to spoil one thing by doing the other thing first, and I would never advocate for spoiling this book because it's so good. Spoil the movie. Read the book first. But yeah, that is my favourite read for May, and I would definitely encourage you all to read it because it is an amazing book. But that is it for this one, guys. So any comments if you've read this book or watched the movie, tell me what you thought. Pop them comments down below. Give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and I will catch you next time, guys. Bye!